Can you hear me now? Okay. I don't know why OBS just reset my mic settings for some reason. Now I can see it. That's weird. I was like, I'm not muted. Filipino Knifey, welcome. Sundalo, welcome. But yeah. Okay. Exhausted Axolotl, welcome. A Tiny Meow, welcome. Freddy just decided to start out the stream with a big old fart. So now I'm surrounded by stinky cat fart. It's glorious. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Isn't that right, Freddy? Here, he can come say hi to you since he already farted. You know, he might as well come up here and grace you with his beautiful presence. Isn't that right, my child? You stinky, stinky boy. Stinky, stinky boy. He doesn't want to be held right now. Surrounded by cat love. Exactly. He is such a stinky boy. I swear he knows it. Like, literally, like, he hasn't farted on me in, like, days. You know what I mean? And then I start streaming. I don't know. I think he knows. Soon I'll be surrounded by fart. My dad's fart. Ooh, yummy. Have fun with that. Have fun with that. Yeah. So we have the 3.0 update live stream tomorrow. And hey, Nat. And so we are going to be covering that live here on YouTube. It'll probably be really early for me, like in the morning, but that's okay. That is fine. I'm still excited about it. I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's nice to finally have, like, tomorrow we're gonna learn so much. We're gonna learn a lot, hopefully. A lot about the units that are coming. Maybe a lot more about the elemental reactions. Like, I don't know how long this live stream is gonna be. Usually it's like an hour, right? I feel like it might be kind of long tomorrow. It might go over an hour. Exhausted Axolotl just went to a food truck and got tomato soup cupcake. That sounds interesting. BRB, you're gonna stare at your dog. Have fun. Staring at dogs is nice. As we get started here, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping likes on stream, that'd be very helpful. And I figure I would start out the stream by, oh, wait. So the point of mentioning that the live stream is tomorrow morning, this is not going to be like a 4-hour stream. Okay. I'm just saying that outright. I got a lasagna in the oven, literally. So I'm going to probably stream for like an hour or two. My goal is 2 hours, okay? But if I get way too hungry, look, this lasagna might get done before the stream is over. I don't know. Maybe I could just take a break, eat, come back. I don't know. Either way is, I'm not going to stream super late into the night because I'm going to be up in the morning streaming. But, guess what? I have a video to upload tonight. I'm going to upload a video. I haven't uploaded a video since last month. So I am excited. It's going to be good. And then I have more good ideas for videos. I've just been super lazy. So I'm very much looking forward to releasing some more videos. Hopefully get the word out about stuff. Mains video, that's coming next after this video I'm releasing. The video I'm releasing has to do with Xinyan. It's basically a gush piece about how it's a video of me talking mathematically about how much shield I'm getting and how much damage I'm getting, and explaining that if you numerically, if you look at it, it doesn't make any sense for anyone to say that she's not a good unit, because the amount of damage she's adding to your team plus the amount of shield she's giving is just like mathematically good. So it's just a piece about how like I don't understand where this like, oh, she's really mediocre, crappy unit. It's like she's kind of hard to team build with. I do admit that you have to be kind of creative to team build with her, but nonetheless, Xinyan simping. Keep praising her. I mean, she deserves it. She is actually a really solid unit. I've used her throughout my entire Genshin. Like when I first started playing Genshin, her and Beto together was really fun. And then, you know, just as you advance through the game, I stopped playing her for a little bit. But once I had the extra resources to start building those units that like people constantly talk bad about certain units, and it makes me want to build them to figure out, are they bad? Or are people just saying they're bad? You're gonna farm for Xinyan and her fish weapon later. Nice. Yeah, she has a good free-to-play weapon with that fish. She has a lot of different weapon choices, actually. Probably one of the most diverse in terms of weapon choices, like Wolf's Gravestone, Sacrificial, Favonius, Fish, Sword. You can even use Prototype, I guess, if you really needed to. You could use Black Cliff on her because the crit damage is really juicy for her. You could use... yeah, a lot of different things. She can even use Ito's Greatsword. So she has like a ton of weapon options. She got a lot of weapon options. I was even thinking about making a weird team with her. But anyway, I'll stop talking about that. So video coming out tonight. Wow. Expect more videos coming out. Yes, Dante, welcome. I don't know if I said hi to you, but welcome. Yeah. Should be good. Should be fun. Should be good. Anyway. Before we get into gaming with Genshin, because I want to get into this Diluc event and do my dailies, and like I want to try to be efficient today. I know I normally get distracted like crazy. I'm going to try to be efficient so that we can do as much of this event as we can during the short stream. I'd like to finish the story portions of it at least. But yeah. So anyway, before we start gaming it with Genshin, I would like to discuss my first impressions with Tower Fantasy, because I've played 15 to 20 hours maybe at this point. Just in the launch window, I just farmed a lot and I've played all the current story that we have available. You're not gonna chat for a bit? That's fine. You can lurk, no problem. No, we appreciate lurkers here. No one is really bad in Genshin. It's just how much investment they require to do, as well as their better counterparts, in my opinion. People twist it into, oh, they're trash because so is already better. Yeah, well, see, it's just like, actually, one of the videos I do want to make, this is sort of a tangent, but, so I'm gonna make this video about, like, I want to make videos challenging misconceptions that people have with Genshin Impact. So, like, one of those misconceptions that people have, or not misconceptions, but, like, one of the people always say that they don't understand why people react poorly to theory crafting. Like, they think people are just like too immature to handle the math or something like that, but that's not actually the case. What it really comes down to is that there's a difference. There is a okay, theory crafters do math, right? That is what they do. That is that is the stuff that they use to, yeah. Here, I'm gonna, instead of 45 likes for juggles, let's just do 25. Give me 25 likes, I'll juggle for you, okay? Before the stream ends. Or like when I get to 25 likes or whatever. But anyway. So, theory crafters do math, and then they make content explaining the math that they've done. Now, here's what happens. Between the math and the presentation of what they say is their math, they formulate a subjective opinion. So, like, if you look, okay, let me try to give an example to my best of my ability. Okay, someone will say so and so does this much damage, and so this other person does more damage or whatever in this one time. So that's what the math is showing. They have their math. They're like, okay, so this one character does way more damage than this one character. Okay, but then they come back from that math and they say, hey, this unit sucks, this unit great. Now what they've just done is they've done two different things. They've shown you math and then they've given you a subjective opinion. What happens is that people get frustrated because the subjective opinion doesn't actually have anything to do with the math. Okay? For instance, like a really good example would be when people look at a healer. You never understand the math presentation. That's okay. That's okay. What I'm saying is, for instance, if you look at Zhongling and Kokomi, okay? Put them side by side or whatever, compare damage. You will see mathematically that one is doing more damage than the other. And now you could pull back from that and be like, okay, Zhongling's a better unit than Kokomi. But you also have to understand that, like, damage isn't the only thing Kokomi does. She actually isn't primarily a damage dealer. So it doesn't make sense to mathematically compare like damage and stuff. And now that's an obvious example. That's a simple, easy grab, easy clap grab. But what people don't understand is that, like, there are units like Xinyan who, when played correctly, is not the main DPS. And she's like a burst DPS that also shields your team. She may not do as much damage as other burst DPSs. She may not give as much shield as Zhongli, or maybe I haven't compared raw flat shield number, like shield resistance numbers, other than like the most popular shielders. But like, point is, she does both pretty well. And if you compare her to a raw burst DPS or a raw shielder, she will not compete. But she has role consolidation where she does damage and shields. People right now are using Tank Faye a lot. Tank Faye is cool, but she does not, her role becomes shielding. That is her primary role now. And that is the only thing she can do, because you kind of neutered her ability to do damage by building Tank Faye. You cannot do a lot of damage with your on Faye. So you have a unit that only shields. That's all they do. Xinyan, on the other hand, may not do as much shielding as Tank Faye. I actually haven't directly compared the two, like I said, exactly, but I know how much shield my Xinyan gives, and it's 14,000. 7,000 from the skill and 7,000 from the burst adds up to about 14,000 shield and some change after like that. But that's a pretty solid amount of shield. Like that's chunky, right? But she also does 70,000 damage per rotation. So like what confuses me is that people like Tank Faye, even though she technically does less damage than Yan Faye, Tank Faye does less damage than Xinyan, and may provide basically the same amount of shielding as far as I'm concerned. But the subjective opinion has gotten but anyway, basically what I want to explain in the video, I'm tangenting so hard, but this other video I want to make is essentially that theory crafters need to understand that when they translate the math into a subjective opinion, they have to be very careful about how they choose to present that information. It's like I studied education in school, in college, okay? And one of the things with education is that you have to provide the information in a way that is digestible and reasonable and communicative. And the issue is that a lot of people include a lot of inflammatory language. They just say a lot of unnecessary stuff that isn't actually even that true, but it's really just their opinion. And they mix up the two. They're like, they show you a bunch of math and then they come back and they say, okay, this unit sucks. And it's like, okay, well, you did just show me a bunch of math, but people can twist math to, you know, support their bias, to support what they want it to support. It's like how people manipulate statistics and stuff like that all the time. Character A does 3,000 damage, but you enjoy character B who only does get 2,000 damage, and you still pass play who you want. Yeah, exactly. I like to tell people when looking at the theory crafters say to keep in mind that if you need, for example, 1,000 damage to pass, then even if one does 3,000, the other does 2,000, then it doesn't matter who you play. Exactly. Yeah. Balancing is done really well in Genshin Impact. There really aren't any dud characters. It's just that, like, for instance, I see Xinyan really low on a lot of tier lists, and I think it's genuinely because people have not invested resources into her to test her, to build her, to try her out. And so she remains low on the tier lists because people actually don't even put in the effort. Like, people hear she's bad, so no one builds her, so they just assume she's bad, so they tell everyone not to build her, so everyone assumes she's bad, so no one builds her. I would imagine that people like I Win to Lose, like, probably haven't built their Xinyan, like, at all. And when you have people that are like I Win to Lose, and they say, oh, this character's bad, or 1010 saying this character's bad, they have a platform that people will then take that subjective opinion and spread it. And not only that, they'll amplify it. So, like, let's say you make a video saying this character is bad. Or like, maybe you say this character's not so good, I don't like them, I wouldn't pull them. Maybe that person has enough clout where then their audience goes, oh, okay, character is bad, no one should pull them. And that's not true. That is an inflation of the other person's point, which becomes non-factual. It's convoluted. It becomes convoluted, exactly. When they include unnecessary explanation, yeah. What build would I suggest for Xinyan? It depends. There's kind of like several builds. You can do a 2-piece Pale Flame, 2-piece Husk for a hybrid shield damage build. You can do 2-piece Pale Flame, 2-piece Bloodstain for maximum damage. Or you can do a 2-piece Husk, 2-piece Shimenawa for like raw support, like defense ER kind of situation where you're not focusing on damage. So yeah, and then from there, the 4 stats that you need to balance are attack percent, defense percent, energy recharge, and crit damage. A prerequisite that I would say for building Xinyan would be C2. I would recommend everyone that wants to build Xinyan have at least C2 because you want 0 crit rate. You do not want crit rate on your Xinyan. C2 gives you 100% crit rate on her physical damage for her burst. So all you need to do is stack crit damage. So the issue with Xinyan, the reason why everyone says she's bad is because you have this thing where like you have to balance so many stats. Like let's say you do build crit damage on her. Now or crit rate on her. Now you need defense percent, attack percent, energy recharge, crit rate, and crit damage. You have to balance 5 stats, and that's so difficult to do. And especially because she needs a lot of energy recharge. It becomes really difficult to make her work and for her to function properly. So at C2, what about at C6? Is the build different? No. So you can build a main DPS Xinyan, but I'm not going to speak from that perspective because her primary role is as a shielder and a burst DPS. So because that is her primary role, I always recommend people build that primary role. If you want to build main DPS Xinyan, I actually feel like that's more of her, like it's like her off meta. It's not, I don't want to say off meta. It's just like I think that her C6 is meant to be not for main DPS. I think her C6 is essentially meant for like you swap in, you burst, and then you spin a little bit, and then you swap off. I think she's still meant to be played as a burst DPS shielder at C6. So anyway, you need to balance out your defense percent, your attack percent, your crit damage, and your energy recharge. If you're not running with Raiden Shogun in your team, you need at least like 180% energy recharge. So here's where we get to talking about weapons. Weapons become really important with your Xinyan build when you're applying to a specific team. So like in my account, I run my Xinyan with Raiden Shogun. So I run my Xinyan with a Wolf's Gravestone because I don't need a ton of energy recharge. So I don't even need an energy recharge weapon. And then the Wolf's Gravestone gives me a ton of attack percent. So then I can use a defense percent Sands because I don't need energy recharge. I can use a defense percent Sands to buff up my shield strength. And then I use a physical damage cup. I always recommend a physical damage cup no matter what. And always a crit damage hat. Always a crit damage hat. You don't even want crit rate on your crit damage hat. You want crit damage as main stat, attack percent, defense percent, energy recharge, and then like flat defense or flat attack. You could get crit rate on the helmet, but it's just not important, and it's not really going to help out your Xinyan that much. To the point where like you might benefit from just having more shield. Anyway, so what you can play around with your build is like what two-piece, you know, I mentioned a number of two-piece sets. So like maybe you want your Xinyan to focus on damage, or maybe you want her to focus on a hybrid build. Or there's a lot of variation to her builds. And also she uses artifacts that people don't use. So like if you had an artifact drop, and it's attack percent, defense percent, energy recharge, crit damage, there are not a lot of units that are going to benefit from that artifact. Like Albedo, maybe, or like maybe Ito, but Xinyan can benefit from that. So if you get a piece, you're farming Pale Flame for your Eula, you get a drop, and it's like a defense percent Sands with attack percent, crit damage, energy recharge. You know, you can just like, oh, okay, I'll just use that for my Xinyan. And then so that makes her easy to build. Okay, I'll stop talking about Xinyan. Tower of Fantasy first impressions. I got ideas, guys. I promise I have so much stuff to talk about. I'm just so lazy with making videos. I'm going to get better about it. I promise. Anyway, Tower of Fantasy first impression. It's all right. Story is very mediocre right now. I don't know, it's very early into the story, so maybe it's just because it's the beginning of the story, everything's kind of not very deep, it's kind of very boring. A lot of the NPCs are very forgettable. Some of the voice acting is very good, and then some of the voice acting is very robotic, and like you can tell that there are certain characters where they told the voice actors, oh, you need to play this character like this, and you need to have this inflection, and we want this kind of personality to be portrayed. And then you can tell that other voice actors just got a script and they were like, yeah, just read this, because those NPCs aren't important. And so then they talk and they're like, I am a person, hello. Like they have no character. Whew. Okay, so story is okay so far. It's kind of a throwaway. It's not that great. It like basically the story reminds me of like anime Borderlands. Like, it's post-apocalyptic. There was some big problem, and now there's a lot of radiation and stuff, and bandits, and like some of the enemies kind of remind me of Borderlands. It's sci-fi is the setting. So even though people are going to compare this game to Genshin a lot, it's actually in a sci-fi setting, and there's enough about the game that separates it from Genshin that I do think that Tower of Fantasy can be its own standalone title. I think that it can. I'll explain. I'm going to give my brief review right now, first impressions, and then I'm going to explain a couple things about Tower of Fantasy that I actually enjoy, like things that are different than from Genshin, okay? So the story's okay. Combat, it's good. Like, the combat's good. It's not that complicated. Genshin has a lot more complexity with the combat, like, where, like, in Genshin, once you get into elemental reactions, like timing and all this stuff, it gets really complicated. There's all these synergies. Tower of Fantasy is not that deep. Like, it's just not. Like, there's combos you can learn for your weapons, but you can just kind of pull up a menu, look at your combos. Like, it's not that hard to learn them. They're easy to pull off. The timing isn't really that... Like, some of them say, like, you got to click and then hold, but I'll, like, click and hold, like, not at the right time. It'll pull off the move. It's fine. So... combat is fine. It feels good for the most part. I think that once you understand the mechanics of like breaking shields and then doing raw damage, and you kind of get how the weapon is supposed to work, it's fun. It's fun. There's even stealth attacks. I just found out today that you can do stealth attacks with certain weapons. So combat feels good. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. It's got like Honkai dodge, or like Punishing Grey Raven dodge, where you like dodge and it goes slow-mo for a little bit, which is cool. It's like enemies can actually hit really hard, so that you can't just face tank everything. Like, you do actually have to have, like, the combat is engaging. I'll say that. It's engaging, but it's just more fast-paced than Genshin, and it's not all like about setting up chain reactions and stuff like that. Like, it's more just about like a skill. It's like a traditional MMO. You have a skill rotation that you plan on going through. You go into the battle, you do your skill rotation. It's just that you have to react to attacks coming at you as well. It's weird sometimes the voice cut off in certain dialogue. Yeah, okay, so outside of that, the actual game itself is very buggy and it's not optimized. There are tons of bugs. Someone said Uncle Palu or Palu. Yeah, there's a guy named Paul, and it just says Palu, and he's everywhere. He's like one of the first NPCs you meet. Like, so there's some pretty cringe bugs. The game, I've noticed, it was really unstable at launch. Starting with Tower Fantasy or Genshin. Oh, I'm talking about Tower Fantasy, and I'm gonna play Genshin. So I just want to get all of my thoughts, all of my first impressions out of the way for Tower Fantasy. And then I'm going to play Genshin. I'm going to record a video tomorrow after the 3.0 stream. But yeah, this is going to be like an hour, 2-hour stream because we have that live stream early in the morning. So this isn't going to be like a super duper long stream. It's just going to be a decently long stream. Okay. I think that the White Blind would be a wonderful weapon for her. Then, yeah, I forgot to mention that. White Blind is also a very good weapon for Xinyan. To double back on that, I forgot about that. It's like one of those games that starts as an open beta on Steam and gets polished over the following months. Yeah, they already released like 2 patches to try to fix things, and they gave out compensation for how buggy it was, because like people couldn't play the game. Like, it was like kicking everyone out, and there was queues. And it was really frustrating. So as for the actual launch, I just think that people get so hyped about launches, and people that don't even care about the game pile into the game, and then it kind of just makes it like people that really are interested in the game, then all the servers are crashing, you know, and it's just like it's kind of excessive. I've already noticed some stabilizations happen with the game where it's like it's got a little more stable, but I will admit I'm playing on PC with a high-end PC. I'm not having some of the issues that other people are having at all, like on mobile, with optimization, crashing, stuff like that. Like, I have crashed, I have had issues, but some of the issues I haven't even had. So it's running decently okay for me. It's playable. I'm having definitely some weird bugs. Okay. Yeah, I hope they optimize it. Yeah, the live stream tomorrow. Exactly. So, for the gacha, what do I think about the gacha in Tower Fantasy? It's okay. I'm actually, I feel like the game is like, just from like always talking from like a free to play perspective, right? Because like not all of us are gonna whale on every game we play or whatever. So I haven't spent anything. I haven't spent $1 in Tower Fantasy. I don't plan on spending any money on Tower Fantasy. I plan on playing free to play. Yep, because I don't care enough about the game to spend money on it. Like, it's kind of fun, but there's a couple reasons I don't want to spend money on the game, and I'm gonna explain them, kind of talk through the gacha elements. So there's like 2 standard banners in Tower Fantasy, and you can farm those currencies near endlessly. I don't want to say endlessly, but near endlessly. So like basically there is a lot of like first time rewards, you know, all that stuff that gacha games have, but basically there are chests in the open world, and there are puzzles, or not really puzzles. They're just sort of like interactables in the open world, and they respawn. They actually respawn. And they drop summons. So like there's this one banner, it's the purple banner, and you get purple nuclei for that. And then there's this other banner, and it's got gold nuclei, and you can farm those in the open world, and the resources that drop those respawn. So over time, like you can log out one day, log in the next day, and the world will have more poles in it that have populated over the course of time, and it shows you the respawn timer. It's actually like, that is one difference between it and Genshin that I like, but there's a price that you pay for that. Because the currency is farmable, or so much easier to farm than it is in Genshin, the banners are not as... The gold banner is really pretty good. It's pretty friendly. The purple banner, the one that's just, you get so many of these summons, right? You can get an SSR on it. I've actually gotten like a 5-star off of the purple banner, but it took 160 summons. Like, and it sounds like a crap ton, but I farmed that in like 8 hours. So like, you have to farm a lot more, but I mean, that's kind of like, you're going around clearing enemy camps, you know, open up stuff. It's just stuff to do, right? It's like being able to revisit the exploration and get rewarded for that and get free summons for that. So the game throws a lot of free summons at you, is what I'm telling you. Now, the limited characters seem kind of hard to farm for a free to play, because you have to farm dark crystals, and you need like 120 pulls to guarantee a character. So like, the limited characters are kind of hard for free to play. You probably have to save up for a long time, and then you have to be kind of choosy about who you snipe. But your account should be fine, because you can just farm the standard banners, and maybe you don't have all the new fancy limited characters, but you can even, like, I have a couple characters at like C1 already, like just from the initial launch. Like I got lucky, and I've gotten a couple 5 stars, like dupes already, you know? So that part of the game, I don't see a lot of incentive to spend on the gacha, because it gives you so much gacha currency that, like, I haven't done anything in the game that is so challenging that I'm like, oh my god, I need a C6 fully upgraded weapon. Like, I'm already doing a lot of damage to the enemies, and maybe there's gonna be a power spike where blah blah blah. Some gacha games do that, but we'll see. It keeps old areas from becoming deserted somewhat. Yeah, I got a little bit jealous just because of that. Like, if chests respawned in Genshin, god, that would be so incredible. Just to be able to revisit Leeway after like a week or two, and there's like more chests to farm. Like, that's my favorite gameplay loop. It's just exploring, fighting some enemies. Oh look, a chest. Ding. And it's just, it feels nice, and so I like that gameplay loop. Yeah, I don't really know what else? That's pretty much the whole game, honestly. Like, I'm not at the end game, so I can't talk about end game. That's pretty much all I've got to say about it. The graphics are okay. The character customization is pretty deep, but the graphics themselves in the game, it's not that flashy. It's kind of like, I don't know. One thing that I actually, kind of like a side thing, but one thing I actually really do like about Tower of Fantasy, and this is a genuine compliment to the game, there are a lot of cooking ingredients, and every region has different cooking ingredients that you can farm, like by going in the overworld and foraging. And the cooking is actually really fleshed out. You can collect recipes, but you can also like do what you do like in Breath of the Wild, and like you can just put stuff together and just try to make stuff. So the cooking part is cool, and the food works like it works like Dark Souls, where you got to run out of combat, and there's like an eating animation, there's like a cooldown, you can set food on your hotbar, and so you can use food actively in combat. They have a variety of effects, and they even have a hunger meter in the game, so like over time your character gets hungry and will regenerate less HP out of combat, and then you have to eat food to fill your stomach so that you regenerate more HP out of combat. I think that's a cool mechanic. Like, I genuinely think that adds to the immersion, kind of adds to the fun of like foraging, going around hunting. It makes it more exciting. I like Genshin's cooking system, but it's so simple. Sometimes I just wish it were a little more complicated. Whew. You always thought the basic chests respawn in Genshin? They do not. The chests in Genshin never, ever, ever respawn. They have chests that spawn on different days. So like you'll go there on Monday, the chest won't be there. You'll go on Tuesday, the chest will be there. And sometimes they have chests in the same area that spawn on different days. So you'll go there and you'll think it's the same chest, but it's like 10 feet in the opposite direction. And it's like a different chest that just only spawns on that one day. Yeah. Okay, here. I'm gonna go over to this real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm receiving a call. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm gonna start up Genshin. I think I might have had the game music on. I'm gonna have to turn my music off. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I think that there are, just finishing up the conversation, I think that there's a couple things that will attract some people to play Tower of Fantasy. Possibly even over Genshin, but I don't think it's going to be a Genshin killer. I don't think it's going to kill the game. I don't think it's going to even really make as much money as Genshin does, and I don't think that it's going to be as successful. But there are certain elements to it that I think some people really like. There's like some more cooperative content. There's more like raid style content. There's more oh wait, what's going on? Oh, that's not right. That's not Genshin. Uh-oh. Hold up. Oh crap. I goofed it up. I messed up my Genshin capture. Yeah, oh, my camera. What? Why isn't it showing? Camera should be showing. Is there something blocking it? Oh gosh. Let me figure this out real quick. Hold on. Got Genshin open. It's not recognizing the window. I think maybe I gotta go to... Hold on. Did my OBS reset more than my mic? I don't know. I'm a little confuzzled. Where's... I think I have to go to windowed, and then I have to go to here. And it's not... Okay, why are you not... There it is! Okay, then we go there. It's kind of... There. And bah! And then we go here, and then we go... Does it even have my resolution in windowed? No. No, it does not. Okay. Whoa. Now webcam. Why, what? I mean, it should just be like on top of everything, you know? One second, let me... Oh my gosh. What? I don't understand. It's right here, guys. I'm so confused. Webcam. It's visible. It's on. It's... Suddenly... Okay, but it flipped it. Wait. Flip. Oh. Why can't I flip you horizontally? Transform, flip. There we go. Wait. Is that not right? That's right, right? What? Which way am I supposed to be? I'm supposed to be the other way. I'm so confused. We got it, guys. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, my Chi-Chi is gone. There we go. All right. Stream has recovered functionality. I need to spend my resin first. Let's go over here and farm some artifacts. Some fartifacts. Tomorrow I learn whether my hoarding was in vain or not. I've been hoarding for so long. I gotta see, what language are we doing? Okay, let's swap to JP for now, and then we'll swap to English when we do the Diluc quest. Let me delete some artifacts. Flip it upside down and put Stranger Things in the title. Exactly. All right, now I have enough room to run the domain. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about Tower of Fantasy or whatever, feel free to ask, but I'm gonna pretty much stop talking about the game now and just, you know, get into Genshin mode and chill and play some Genshin. You know how it is. Oh, I don't even have an element infused. So one thing I'm really excited to see with Sumeru is whether, like, couple things that I always pay attention to going into a new region is, like, what are the enemies harder to fight? Are they, you know, obviously are they different, but are they harder to fight? Is the overall level of the enemies gone up? Is the mob density, like, how many enemies are there? What time tomorrow will I be streaming EST? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be 2000% honest with you, and I currently don't even know what time the live stream is for the update. It's usually either at 8 or 6 in the morning for me. So it's probably at one of those times. But I haven't even like, I have to triple check because I'm so bad with, like, time zones and stuff like that, and I just haven't done that yet. I've been grinding my butt off in Tower of Fantasy to try to form an opinion of the game, basically. But yeah. When's the tier list coming out? Oh god. There's already a bunch made, I'm sure. No need for me to do anything like that. They got other people. Bro, can you chill out for like 2 seconds? Oh, I didn't. There's no pyro. Personally, I'm most excited to learn about the reactions. I really want to know what the heck these Dendro reactions are going to do. Here, I'm going to use an original resin so I can uncap it. Sure. Does anyone know what the Genshin livestream is in GMT? I don't know. I'm being 110% real with you. I have no idea. Maybe a little late to the stream tomorrow. If it's 8 your time, then it's 7 my time. I'll be taking the girls to school. Okay, that's okay. I have no idea when it is. I will make the live stream tonight before I go to bed, and I'm sure. Whoa! I just maxed out 3 characters at the same time. What the? That's pretty wild. If it starts lagging and like bugging out like last time, you're gonna lose it. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous, guys. Okay, we've got, I don't know what the heck this is. We've got 2 days left on this stuff. So I gotta get this quest event done really fast. I have all the quests done from that, but now I have, there's also this, Unsolved Mysteries. Oh my gosh. Do you like my different music for my teapot? You like my music? I changed this song. It's so good. I actually really like this song. Super, super good. Diluc event is decently quick. Okay. All right then, let's go do that. I think I can just teleport straight there, right? I gotta Phantom of the Past. Oh, I can't just warp there from, okay, wait. Oh my gosh, I'm hitting, buttons. That was kind of weird. Monster. Oh, I gotta send my commissions first. Or my expeditions. Guys, my brain is potatoes, okay? I've literally just been farming. I farmed like 200 summons in Tower of Fantasy. My brain has turned to literal mashed potatoes. Okay. That's just a fact of life. Okay. Oh. Okay, commissions. I guess I should have waited to do that until I did my commissions. If I wanted to be efficient, like an efficient gamer would do. Whoa. There's a that's funny. There's a double jump in Tower of Fantasy, and I keep instinctively hitting the spacebar twice. That's kind of funny. Wow. Y'all dead. Dang. One with nature. You kept doing that too. Call me Venti because I was gliding everywhere. Yeah. It's funny because you have a mount in Tower of Fantasy because it's so much, but because it's so much like Genshin, I constantly forget that I have a mount and I just run around and waste so much time. Like, oh boy. Okay. That one. Here we go. Not gonna lie, the glider in Tower of Fantasy is so bad compared to Genshin's. Don't get me started on the stamina bar. Yeah. You can actually get an upgrade for the glider in Tower of Fantasy that makes it not consume stamina, but the gliding itself is kind of bad. Like, it's very slow and it's also very loud. Like, the sound of the air rushing is just, it's painful. It's actually painful. I don't know why it's so loud. But yeah, the gliding motion itself is very slow. I pretty much only use the jetpack for like when you hold the jetpack button and you can do the boost to like launch into the air. I basically use that like Kazua's skill, you know, to like reach higher areas, avoid climbing. But yeah, I glide almost nowhere because it's just so slow. Oops. But yeah, anyone that's in chat that's played Tower of Fantasy, if you guys want to share your thoughts with other chatters in there, you know, if you guys want to share what you're doing. I do have a clan. If you guys have not joined the guild or whatever in Tower of Fantasy that we have, it's called Tower of Family. Tower of Family. It's so wholesome. You can't deny how cute that is. But anyway. Yeah. We got like 6 people. So exciting. They make it seem like you're flying with a jet with the sound, but it moves so slow. Exactly. It's so loud. It's like the wind's rushing past you, but you're like going as fast as you go in Genshin, maybe a little slower. And it's just like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. By that logic, when I'm riding my mount, my eardrum should blow out. Should have called it Tower of Freddy. Doesn't make sense though. What does that even mean? He's got a tower right there. Imagine hearing jet sounds right now as Flo's gliding. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, oh bro, I can't handle this. It's too much. Luckily, now the one other thing I do like about Tower of Fantasy is that they have gadgets, like kind of like Genshin does, but like the gadgets are actually like good. Like they do like exploration things. And so like there's like a grappling hook you can get and other stuff, which is kind of cool. Like you have options. You don't have to use the jetpack, which is kind of weird, but I wonder if you unequip. I've never unequipped the jetpack. I don't know if you can still glide if you unequip it. I would assume that you can still glide, but you can't like do the boosty thing. I don't know. Hey, Justin. Zhao skill sounds while gliding normally. Yeah. They have an Albedo Vader gadget. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's much more like Legend of Zelda in that way. Where like in Legend of Zelda you have like, you know, exploration gadgets and stuff. And they have that too. So it's much more like Zelda in that way. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope everyone's feeling nice and well. Remember to drink some water, stay hydrated. Make sure you keep the fluid flowing in your veins, your blood. Exhausted Axolotl says, I have enjoyed it though. It's just a fun new game. I may or may not play long term, but it's great in between resin game with Genshin. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I'm gonna play it long term or if I'm gonna play it very seriously, but I do kind of like the idea of being able to log in, run around, grab a bunch of chests, like farm a bunch of summons, and then just like pull just for the fun of it. Like, I don't really know what the end game is like. I don't know if the raids are fun or if they're, you know, like what those are like. But I do like that gameplay loop. So I feel like at the very least, if I ever am just bored and got nothing to do, like, yeah, maybe I'll just log in and like farm some free summons, do some free pulls just for the funs of it. Like, oh, maybe I can farm up 30 pulls and just do, you know, 30 pulls real quick and like. But I have a hard time believing I'm going to take the game very seriously. Like I've mentioned very many times before, story is important to me. So like if a game's story is not very good, a lot of my interest is lost. So like I don't really, because the story's not very good so far, I don't care about the world very much. Like I'm not very invested in the lore or anything. I don't even really feel like there's much lore at all. Like it's like a sci-fi game, and it's very much like, it feels like it's like Borderlands. Like the lore is not that deep. Like it's kind of just like, yep. But I don't know. They've also tried to do some emotional moments already, and they weren't very emotional because I didn't really care. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just gonna keep playing. I still haven't bought the BP. I think I'm just gonna stop buying the BP. I don't really need it. I don't know, man. I just felt burnt out from Genshin. I still haven't got Fischl skin and finished her domain and monodomain. That's okay. Ray, have you you still have a lot of time for the skin. I think the skin you still have 10 days for, but the Mirage stuff is ending soon. You can take a break, man. If you're feeling burnt out and stuff, like, you know. No worries. I know FOMO is a thing, but like, if you really wanted the Fischl skin, I feel like you'd go out and get it. You know what I mean? Like, do you play Fischl? It seems more for combat and looting than story, while Genshin has a great story and a fun combat. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like a lot of things that Genshin does really well that, you know, Tower Fantasy just doesn't do at all. Vice versa, there's some other thing, you know. I think they're different enough. I was kind of, you know, I was worried that Tower Fantasy wouldn't stand on its own, but I think it will. I've heard some things that like people don't really like. The launch didn't go well, so people are already complaining about it like that. Like, and then I've also heard that there's like the Chinese servers, like people have said this is, I've not looked this up. I don't actually have any numbers or I don't know anything, but I've heard people say that the game is not very popular in China. So that the game is not very like popular. And I don't know, I know that the Chinese market is they love games where you can wail really hard on it. Maybe it's because the game has a bad reputation, or maybe it's because, like, to be honest, wailing doesn't seem like that smart in that game. It actually seems like pointless, like really pointless. The PvP is equalized, so like you can get a benefit from wailing, but the only benefit you get is like having access to a particular weapon earlier than someone else. Like as far as actual power levels, it's equalized in PvP. So I don't know why it's not popular in China. I haven't looked it up. Like, guys, I don't surf the Reddit or surf the Twitter or anything. I'm not like knee deep in internet holes. So I just play the games and I do basic research if I feel like there's something going on, you know, and that's kind of it. I've heard, you know, some bad market, whatever. I'm okay. You don't care about farming artifacts or other resources because of the drop rate? Okay. It's fine, Ray. You're allowed to be burnt out from the game. You're allowed to feel like, you know, take a break. Come back in 2 or 3 months. Like, here's something that I see happen a lot when people are burnt out with a game, is they force themselves to play it, and then you're only going to get more and more frustrated about the game. Like, yes, artifact drop rate is low, but like that shouldn't bother you like really deeply. You know what I mean? I feel like it's when you're burnt out, you're already kind of getting sick of the game. Your mind just starts obsessing over the bad things in the game. So I would just recommend, you know, if you're feeling burnt out, don't force yourself to play Genshin. Just take a break. just either play something else entirely, play a completely different game, try something completely different. Maybe try out. There's a lot of fun games that are like updating regularly or available now that just, you know, newer games or whatever. Tower Fantasy is more about combat oriented with combos. That's why the damage numbers aren't crazy high, because you can do more combos. True. Yeah. It is more focused on combos rather than like Genshin Impact is more about team play, you know, like synergies and reactions. But Tower Fantasy is more about like doing big juicy combos. I feel like the story in Tower Fantasy could have been good if done with more depth and paced differently. I feel like the stuff we went through story-wise towards the beginning should have been like the middle of the story after you already invested and attached in it. Yeah, it's very rushed. Like the story, it went, I don't know. It's a very quickly driven story. I don't know. It's just, yeah, story is not a strong point in Tower Fantasy for sure. But there's a lot of gamers. Like, look, there's a lot of gamers who, to be honest, they just do not care about story. They skip all of it anyway. And so, like, for a game like Tower of Fantasy, they just do not care. It's not as bad as Summoner Wars. Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as, like, I've played tons of MMORPGs throughout my life, and Tower Fantasy is a lot better in terms of story than, like, 90% of other MMORPGs. Like, if we're talking about MMORPGs, Genshin's story is legendary if you consider it an MMORPG. I don't consider Genshin an MMO. I consider Genshin like a fully fledged single player game. But usually when you play an MMO, the story is like pointless. Like, it's just so bad. It's so bad. So, you know, I do have to give credit that in the market of MMORPGs, Tower Fantasy story is actually not that bad. There are some like cool cutscenes and stuff that are cool. Dan, welcome, says, I'm really interested in the PvP of it, which is not a pay to win, surprisingly enough. Yeah, I was interested in that too. I may give the PvP a go in Tower Fantasy just because it, like, the combat is engaging, kind of fun. I don't know. I'm curious how it is. I wonder what kind of game modes they have. I heard they even have a battle royale for Tower of Fantasy, where you can do like basically like Fortnite, like drop in and fight people. But I have no idea how that works. I'm not usually a big PvP player, but I feel like maybe for stream content, if I just don't take it really seriously, if I just try to have fun with it, you know, and just maybe do it on stream just for the lulz, even if I get wrecked, even if I get completely wrecked, like, at least that's good stream content, right? Battle Royale is pay to win, it seems, but hey, each his own. Oh, is the Battle Royale pay to win? I thought it wasn't, because from what I heard, you drop in and then you like run around and grab loot. Like, you don't even start with weapons. So I assumed that all the weapons you got were balanced, but maybe once you pick up a weapon, you just have all your upgrades or something. But whatever is equalized is the one I'm gonna play. Like, I'm not whaling in Tower Fantasy. I'm not spending any money, so I don't want to play against like whales that are gonna wreck me. Okay, dailies are done. Everything's done. I'm here in Dawn Watery, just aimlessly running around. Let me start this quest. Okay. Every time I come here, I just think about the Windbloom.
Good day to you both. It's been quite a long time.
And
You're looking well as ever.
hide and seek. They're also putting in balance changes based on the CN version, so global may play out a little different. True. Actually, that is true. They've literally changed characters. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, they've rebalanced the game. They drastically changed certain characters, damage, skill cooldown, stuff like that. So I actually think the global version of Tower of Fantasy is going to be more well balanced than the CN version, which is interesting. It's not usually done, but that is kind of cool. That is a good thing.
Hi, Adeline.
This completely changed my summoning priorities. Yeah, I bet a bunch of people that looked at like summoning guides and tier lists and stuff before the global launch were like, I wonder who, like the first person to figure it out, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna summon like Nemesis is the limited character, and she got nerfed, and she's like super meta in CN, and don't worry, they will for sure try to put effort into global as they already screwed up CN version with game breaking bugs. I mean, there's bugs, but nothing game breaking. I mean, it's, you know, sometimes the game crashes, sometimes there's weird stuff happens, sometimes characters are named Palu when they're supposed to be named Paul, but nothing game breaking for me yet, for sure. Anyway, yeah, tangent. Point is, Diluc event.
To what do we owe the honor today? Important business to discuss with Master Diluc, I presume?
Oh, grape juice, actually.
Adeline, since we've run into you, maybe we could just get you to help us with this one. We always miss the winery's discount grape juice, so this time we decided to come here early.
Apparently the bugs were so bad, players found ways to get lots of extra summons. Oh, so basically like what happened in New World happened to Chinese Tower Fantasy. On the CN servers, they had like, they must have had like some bugs where people were able to like get just tons of summons. But I don't even know if that really matters. Like, I'm being so honest with you guys. I played for like 15 hours and I farmed like well over 200 summons, and seeing how many nodes respawn with summons and how many you can just probably refarm on a daily basis. Like, I don't even know if I'd like, summoning doesn't seem that important in Tower Fantasy. Like, it is, but it's not. Like, if you play long enough, you're gonna get so many summons that I feel like you'll probably have all the standard characters anyway, kind of deal. And it's just more about like, who do you want to build up and stuff. Okay, anyway. Event. Yes.
Can you reserve a bottle for us? We'll pay a deposit. Just name the price.
Yeah, I want some juice.
Of course I can, and no deposit necessary. But I'm afraid you might be in for quite a wait. Dawn Winery's discount grape juice takes a long time to make. Every summer,
What?
Master Diluc handpicks 2 barrels of the finest grapes to turn into juice.
Oh.
What? Why sell the good stuff at a low price? Shouldn't the best grapes be the most expensive?
Master has never explained his reasoning. If I had to guess, the discount could be a marketing technique. Special deals always attract customers. Perhaps Master hopes to increase the popularity of fruit juice so that people have more options when it comes to drinking.
Oh, that's nice.
It makes an ideal alternative for the heaviest drinkers because they won't get drunk and start causing mischief. At the same time, those who don't drink alcohol get the chance to try something new.
Dan says, oh, you haven't played for a while if you're only at the start of this one. No, actually, I play Genshin like nearly every single day. I move really slowly, and I only just recently finished the Archipelago story, as well as, like, I only do story content on stream and like quest content on stream, and I stream like every other day. So I do play like daily. Yeah, but I just take my sweet time. But my team says it made the whales annoyed for the most part, since free players can get the same stuff as whales without spending a cent. You could actually refresh. Oh, I see. So they nuked their own ability to make money with a bug. A bug ruined their ability to farm whales. The game suffered as a result. That's really funny, actually. But I do hope the global, I mean, like, it's got the shell of a good game. Look, Genshin, Hoyoverse has so much money. They spent so much money on this game. You have no idea. 200 million to develop it, 100 million to run this game every single year. They've already spent like nearly 400 million on this game. What's the developer of Tower Fantasy? Hada Labs or Hada Studio? I don't know much about them, but they're tiny. They are teeny tiny little babies. And I just don't expect Tower of Fantasy to be on Genshin's level, if that makes sense. I don't expect it to be as polished. I don't expect it to be as everything. I expect it to be worse in every respect in certain ways, except for that it has different game mechanics that are interesting to me and stuff like that. So, you know, I think managing expectations is a big deal. Genshin kind of spoiled us with like visual quality, audio quality, like the music, animations. There's a lot of things in Genshin that when I first played this game, my jaw dropped when I saw how good the animations were and stuff like that. Like music, literally like jaw dropping, and you just don't get that with most mobile games and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah. But wouldn't that harm the business?
Master Diluc isn't all about money. I think he would prefer to see people drinking in moderation than chase bigger profits at any cost. Imagine if everyone could just enjoy a nice glass of wine and have a good time while keeping their wits about them and not creating trouble for others. Now, wouldn't that be a miracle?
Wow, Master Diluc's such a thoughtful guy. So, is Diluc picking out this year's grapes right now?
Not just yet. He has a few more issues to sort out first. He'll start the process as soon as those are out of the way. If you're interested, I'm sure Master Diluc would be delighted to see you and hear your thoughts.
Sure, what
As
issues?
you know, whenever Master Diluc catches wind of any unsavory guests showing up in Mondstadt, he takes it upon himself to go and greet them in person.
Oh.
It's the same story today. He should be somewhere near Falcon Coast. I'm not sure how long he'll be. In the meantime, would you like to take a seat inside? I have to stay here and wait for some other guests, but Hilly and Mako will be glad to take care of you.
Unsavory guests? What is that supposed to mean?
The music is what sold Genshin for me, says Nat. I agree. Like, I expected this to be just a crappy mobile game when I started playing it or whatever. And the first thing that made me realize that this game is actually really like well developed is the music. That was the first thing, because I studied music in college, and it's just like from a professional level, the music is incredible. And that's not hyperbole. Like, that's not me just blowing air, like smoke, you know? Like, the music is actually like ridiculous. It's ridiculous for a you know, and it's like that's smart though. That's so smart, because most games try to do the most generic cliche music they can, and they just try to pass by on that. But like games like Legend of Zelda and Mario have themes that are like ingrained in our brains, and you hear it and you know. And like, if you want your branding to last, if you want your marketing to work really well, having music that people hear and they love or hear and remember is so important, because anytime they hear that music again, it's just immediate connection. It's really smart. So I have to applaud them that they put the money in the right spots for Genshin, developing like the lore, the world, the music. Okay. Guessing that has something to do with Diluc's part-time job.
Huh? You mean the Dark Knight? The Dark and Evil...
Oh my gosh,
Paimon.
Paimon.
Are up to no good again? In that case, Master Diluc's our friend. We can't sit here and do nothing.
True.
If you're happy to help, that would be wonderful. Master trusts you after all, and you're both very capable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just sit
I know
around.
He'd appreciate a helping hand.
No, maybe not, but
The sooner Master Diluc is free, the sooner we can get a taste of that delicious grape juice. Come on, let's go to the Falcon Coast.
after Pokemon, I think Genshin has the most iconic score for me personally. Nice. Yeah, Genshin's up there with like Zelda and stuff for me. For music. Dan says Paimon's voice almost made me quit at some point. I had to change the language. Yeah, it's definitely like...
Is that a camp over there? Diluc is camping out in the wild?
I really like the Japanese voice actors for this game.
This is weird. Maybe these enemies are really tough, and it's turned into a long, drawn-out battle. Let's go check it out.
I mean, there's a big red thing right there. But, yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, when I do quests, I don't like reading the text all the time, so.
Maybe it's an adventurer camp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a piece of paper and a notebook over there. Let's read them.
What about the floating giant red ball of death? Dear Dark Knight Hero, we're seeing a repeat of the phenomenon we encountered if you fully reserve the issue last time. The ley lines seem to be simulating the same way release the monsters that were. Oh. Uh-oh, that's kind of lore.
Judging by the tone, it seems like this was written by someone Diluc knows well.
Hey, Globby.
Let's call him Diluc's friend.
Oh,
now.
I was like,
Something
what's
snapped
wrong,
in it,
Globby?
Wrote a note for Master Diluc, and then left. Huh. Isn't that pretty irresponsible? What if someone else had seen it? Also, he left his
Okay,
notebook behind.
Paimon, no one cares about that.
Now that Paimon thinks about it, you know that strange ley line deposit?
Yes, the giant. But hey, Globby, you joined and you're like, hello, frowny face. I was like, that's the first time you've ever been unhappy in your whole life. No, I'm kidding. But you're always in good spirits when you join chat, and that was funny. Okay, yes.
Other than that, everything seems fine here. Not a monster in sight. Do you want to read? If not, let's head over and take.
Okay, yeah. So let's go look at the ley line, because a red ley line. This your bird made you improperly emote. Aha!
Where did all these monsters come from?
The ley line, you goofy.
Wait a second. Is that Diluc? Huh. He looks kind of different than usual.
Yeah, he looks like a
Look at
bam.
him go! So focused and full of energy. So this is Captain Pyro when he's in top form,
Oh,
huh?
don't call him Captain Pyro. The ley lines are showing the scene they recorded at that time.
Hey, you're right. Now that Paimon looks more closely, this Diluc does look younger than usual. But what happened back then? Why is he fighting here? Guess we can just ask him about it when we see him. What should we do now?
Let's just observe.
Okay, let's see how young Diluc used to fight.
Oh, I'm fighting. I'm Diluc.
The fight is over. Diluc wiped the floor with them. Guess some things haven't changed. So is there any actual danger here? It looks like it's only these illusions from the past.
Right. Diluc must have already been here. At most, there might be a few remnants
So
left.
Diluc's already called it a day? Will more monsters come out if we go up to that weird ley line deposit again? And what about young Diluc? If it's like the other ley line deposits we've seen, then it should have disappeared now that all the monsters are defeated.
Oh, so young Diluc's piqued your interest, or have you suddenly developed an interest in ley line anomalies?
No. Paimon's just a little worried is all.
Oh, okay.
What if someone passing by gets curious, comes to check it out, then suddenly, yeah! A monster jumps out and clubs him over the head with a swoosh and a smash!
Yeah,
That would be terrible.
yeah, that would be pretty bad. Pretty bad, Paimon. I didn't get all my nail polish off. Why the sound effects?
Because it sounds more dangerous that way.
Oh.
Anyway, we came here to help Diluc, didn't we? So let's stick around a little longer and make sure this place is completely safe before we head back.
You've got a strong sense of responsibility. Have a good one, y'all. Good night. See you, Dan. Have a good one.
Not really. Paimon just wants some fancy grape juice.
Yes.
Come on, let's finish what we came for. When we get the grape juice, you can have some of Paimon's half.
Cool. Is that the whole story? Was that it? Was that the whole story? I was very much expecting it to be way longer than that. Is that it? You gotta do challenges and then you get more story. There's a second part. Okay. Cool. Elemental burst damage increased by 50%. Using 6 bursts. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. What's the oh, it's okay. We're going.
Clouds high. The birds.
Barbados, guide us.
Wind strider.
Here come the fireworks!
Gotcha. Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Fire hazard!
Rude. Oh no.
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Go as one!
I swear by my sword. Quietly now. Gutsy. Game's up. Fun's over.
A festive reprise! Time for a light show!
Whoa, what was that? Oh, it's the... Oh, crap.
That didn't count!
Ow, I still got hit by the missile, even after it ended.
I'm starting to wonder if we should have left the ley line deposit alone. Maybe then the monsters would have stopped coming.
Sure.
Also, Paimon still doesn't have a clue what's going on here. Shall we just go ask Diluc? Yeah, come on! Let's get back to the Dawn Winery.
How do I like playing as Lumine? Because I've heard people regret choosing female versus male. No, I like playing Lumine. I like playing her. I actually prefer Lumine over Aether. I feel like it makes... This is going to sound really dumb, but I feel like it makes more sense for Aether to be the evil twin than for Lumine. And don't ask me why. It's just like, I feel like Lumine makes more sense as like the good sibling. The challenge isn't bad, just make sure to read the rules. So you need certain weapons. Oh, Yoimiya doing the cha-cha slide, but why? Oh hey, I only got 4 stars or 3 stars. Oh, is this 4-star? Dire Strait, is that the 4-star one? I don't think you heard Lumine. What? Lumine as the Abyss Princess?
The birds come.
Wind, hear me.
I don't need to.
Gold Bishop down!
Here comes the catch. Gotcha.
Fire hazard!
Oh, are you kidding me? Dude's got like 1 HP left.
Quietly now.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
You chose Aether because he had prettier hair. I do like Aether's hair a lot. His what? Oh, whoa, what?
Here come the fireworks!
Gotcha.
I'm starting to get used to this team more. Like the rotations are actually working. Do you guys see this? I'm actually getting the rotations for this team to like actually work. I think I need to kill the little guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, you son of a gun!
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds.
Bro is like blasting a laser in my face.
Time
One with nature.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
What? He just interrupted my freaking...
As one with wind and cloud.
You're not killing me again. Oh my god, that guy did a lot of damage.
Hear me.
Fallen leaves. Adorn.
Here come the fireworks. Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Busted.
Cool. This is fun. I'm gonna grab those at the end. Damage dealt by vaporizer melt reactions is increased by 40% after triggering vaporizer melt 12 times. You will obtain after image might. Damage dealt by vaporizer melt reactions is increased by 40% and unleash a shockwave at the position where the reaction was triggered. Damage dealing. Okay. That's easy enough. I mean, this is a vape team, so I feel like that should function properly. Trigger melt or vape 12 times to three.
Take it easy. Fire hazard.
I'm using Yoimiya. I'm gonna trigger melt and vape extremely quickly.
A festive reprieve.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
I swear by my sword. Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Busted. Time for a light.
And now here's for the juicy bits.
Wind strider.
Here come the fireworks.
Clouds high. The birds.
Wind, hear me.
Tiny Meow has to sleep. See you later, Tiny Meow.
Into the wind.
This is fun. I'm having fun. So I need to do one of these, and then... Yeah.
I swear by my sword.
That is rude!
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Into the wind.
A festive reprieve.
Game's up. Fun's over. Busted.
Fuse is lit.
The cryo is really annoying.
One with nature.
Wind, hear me.
Goldfish of doom.
Clouds high. The birds call. Into the wind.
Here comes the catch. Quietly now.
Fire hazard.
Okay, come on, Yoimiya.
The wind knows me.
This guy's got a buttload of health.
I swear by my sword.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
So rude.
A festive reprieve.
Gotcha.
Fuse is lit.
Quietly now. Things are about to get dicey. Barbados, guide us.
Fire hazard. Here come the fireworks.
Clouds high. The birds.
Busted.
I'm not gonna pass. I'm gonna fail it.
Wind strider.
I swear by my sword.
Okay, I need a stronger team. Hi there, crowd car. Yep. Diluc event. Yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. I don't do a lot of vapor melt teams. Like that's not my strong suit. I need to do all the vapes and melts right away instead of doing a setup. I'm not really doing a setup. I'm just doing my rotation. It's probably because my Yoimiya is not very well built in terms of artifacts. She doesn't do that much damage. I don't have any good vape teams that I can just do. Because I just don't like vape teams that much. EOS Shadow says the stronger enemies don't come out until you have done the melt and vape. Oh. That is good to know. What's up, Freddy? It's not dinner time yet. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna do something. I don't like vape and melt teams. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any. I could just do Hu Tao, I guess. I don't know if I can. My Yunjin isn't really, or my Yelan isn't really built for. Let's just try something. Let's just throw. No. I don't know. Let's just try it again. If I can get the enemies to spawn sooner, maybe it'll
Fire hazard!
It's like there's a cooldown on it counting the reactions or not.
Gotcha.
One with nature.
Busted.
Into the wind.
Fuse is lit!
Game's up. Fun's over.
As one with wind and cloud.
Wind, hear me.
Ah.
Time for a light show!
The wind knows me.
I swear by my sword. Huh!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night. Into the wind.
Fuse is lit!
Quietly now. Gotcha.
Come on, die.
Go as one!
Here comes the catch.
Clouds high. The birds up.
Time for a light show!
Wind, hear me.
My Jean's just running a 4-piece Viridescent. Nothing special.
Busted.
She just hits hard because she's C6.
Wind strider.
Quietly now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat it.
My sword! Go as
Hey, Ramsir.
One with nature.
Time for a light show!
No, these guys have so much HP.
The wind knows.
That's ridiculous. Hey, Ramsir. I already said hi. Yeah, I can't beat that. What's the next one? Electro reaction, defense, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'm gonna bring an electro charge team for that. And desperate. Bam.
Emerge, right here, right now.
Kamisato up. Suiyu.
Strike! No turning back!
Cascade.
Oh god, that's a freaking Hydro Slime.
Emerge, right now.
No! I got
Nothing lasts
stuck.
forever.
Fairlius Barbados, guide us.
The depths beckon.
Oh crap! I did not mean to do that.
What a nuisance.
Flash!
Oh, but now that's on cooldown. Oh, I screwed up my rotation so bad.
Right here, emerge. Right here.
Quiver!
Wind, hear me.
Go as one! Strike!
Emerge, right now. A sight to behold.
Kamisato up. Suiyu.
Quiver!
Come on out. Emerge, right now.
Storm the front!
Right here.
Okay, let me see if I can do this one.
Emerge, right here, right now.
I swear by my sword!
Fred.
Go as one.
Be still.
Dude, die. Why does that freaking dude have so much HP?
Emerge, right here. Emerge.
The depths beckon.
No turning back!
I'm always watching.
Cascade. Kamisato up. Suiyu.
Right now, right here, right now.
Wind, hear me! Strike!
Be still.
Right here, right now. Emerge.
Mind the deluge.
Go as one! Barbados, guide us! Quiver! Glory to the Shogun!
A sight to behold. Right here, right now. Emerge.
Oh, I can. It's like, where are the enemies?
Show them. Right here.
Whoa. How 12 powerful opponents? Dude, this guy's got like 700,000 HP. How am I supposed to kill 12 of these
Right now,
when they
right
won't
here.
spawn at the same time? I don't like this event. I don't like it as much as the other combat events they've done lately. I think it's just like, I don't want to fight a Whopper Flower with 400,000 HP. I don't want to. It's not fun.
Emerge.
Kamisato Aka. Suiyu.
Wind, hear me. Nothing lasts forever. Strike!
Like, I'm doing as much damage as I possibly can. No. No, that is silly. I'm not gonna do the dire ones. If I can't beat it, what are free-to-play people supposed to do? Does the wait, do you get primo gems for the dire one? Oh, I see. It's just ore. It's like the optional mode. Okay. Okay. I get it. I don't like when they do that. I like the modes that have like big waves of mobs, but they're not like 7 million HP. After a character triggers a swirl reaction, damage all party members when the character has 15 swirl reactions. Okay. EOS struggle through this event a lot. Yeah, I can imagine that, like, it's pretty tough. Like, like, who wants to fight a Whopper Flower that has, like, 300 billion HP? You know what I mean? Like, that's just, I can't possibly understand where anyone would get this logic that would be fun. I should be able to do this with my freeze team. All right.
Hold the line.
Manifest! Cryo incarnate!
One with nature.
I mean, my Kazuha is gonna do like a ton of
Adorn my nut from
swirls,
whence you
so.
came, swift and merciful.
Transfiguration!
Billowing surge. Thrust and rebit.
As one with wind and cloud. The wind knows me.
Obey! By ordinance divine!
Spirit blade. Attack. A touch of. One with nature.
There it is.
Torrent, bring refuge. Hold the
No.
line.
Manifest! Cryo incarnate!
Clouds high. The birds call. Submit for judgment.
Dang, Chongyun. You gonna leave some for the others? Dang, he just did like, was that like 47,000 damage? That was good. I'm tempted to try this one because I can use my freeze team. And my freeze team is like my strongest team. Let me see.
Obey!
I just want to I want to understand what the benchmark is for being able to do
Attack. Swift and merciful.
the dire straits.
By ordinance divine!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. Submit for judgment.
Because this is like, if this team can't do it,
My will
then
abide.
like there ain't no hope for anybody.
Wind knows me.
Because this team has ridiculous amounts of investment.
From whence you came.
Transfiguration!
There it is.
The wind knows me.
Billowing surge.
Okay, so the gold ones are the only ones that I actually have to kill.
Cryo incarnate!
One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Whoa, that was a lot of damage.
My will embodied!
The wind knows me.
Covenant of the deep. Allow me.
I need to move
Obey!
faster.
By ordinance divine!
One with nature. Spirit Blade. Attack.
This Mirror Maiden has like 1,000,000 HP. What is going on?
Manifest.
Dude, that Maiden has so much. I just dumped damage on her. Dumped. I was doing hundreds of thousands of damage. And she's just like, that's ridiculous. Okay. Damage dealt by Claymore wielding characters increased by 50%. Okay. Damage. Okay. I think I can use my freeze team for that because I can just use Chongyun. Normal attacks. Frozen. Okay, I think I can use my freeze team for the rest of these actually. Let's just go. Let's just gun it. Yo, main DPS Chongyun about to slap.
From whence you came, forth my blade.
Whoa, why am I not getting my Shenhe buff?
Billowing surge.
That was weird. Here.
Spirit Blade. Attack.
Oh, I think I oh, I forgot to swap back to refresh it. Right. There, that was 29,000 for an auto attack.
Hold the line.
Manifest. By ordinance divine.
From whence you came, swift and merciful.
Oh, Chongyun, when he bursts, he eats up all the charges. That's what it is. I forgot. If I want to do damage with Chong... Okay.
Transfiguration.
All right.
Cryo incarnate.
Wind Strider. Spirit Blade. Attack. A touch of frost.
My will embodied.
Submit for judgment.
Oh my gosh.
Of the deep.
I can stay on field long enough to use Chongyun's burst twice.
Unleash.
I just realized that. Because if I burst and then swap off and then do the DPS, like right here, burst,
Whence you came,
swap off,
Ordinance divine.
burst. Hey Moon Fairy,
Take your truth.
we're doing Dire Straits. And look, I have his burst back, and then so infusion window ends, do another burst.
Transfiguration.
That's actually sick. I just learned new tech with Chongyun that I've never. You can do his burst twice in one.
submit for judgment.
Cryo incarnate.
I think I said hi to Moon Fairy. I actually can't remember. I'm sorry.
The birds call.
My brain is mashed potatoes.
One with my blood.
Take your true form.
Billowing surge.
Obey.
Submit for judgment.
You're almost dead, buddy.
Forth my blade. Into the wind.
Manifest. By ordinance divine.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my from whence you came.
My will embodied.
Whoa.
One with nature.
Did I just see a 71,000 damage auto attack from my Kazuha? I think my Kazuha melted an auto attack for 70,000 damage.
Unleash.
Wind Strider. Swift and merciful. From whence you came.
This one's gonna be easy. Just normal attack.
Obey.
We do that.
Master's bidding.
Kazuha popping off. Yeah, I know, right?
Spirit blade. A tip.
Unleash. Unleash!
There's like some kind of cooldown on it though. I don't understand.
Of the deep.
Like it doesn't count every single auto attack.
Allow me.
Manifest!
Strong team. Yeah.
From whence you came, one with my
Oh shoot.
clouds high. The birds
Cryo Incarnate! Take your true form!
Chongyun still has one of your favorite burst animations. Same. I'm trying to do auto attacks.
Billowing surge.
If it counted every single auto attack, I'd be done by now. Alright. There they are.
Obey! You will regret this!
fallen leaves adorn my
By ordinance divine!
spirit flame. Attack!
There's a 1 second cooldown.
Transfiguration.
Whoa! Okay. Hey, Kamikaze. I'm just doing the Hidden Strife event, and okay, so I'm just gonna start. my Shenhe's burst lasted so long that it carried over to the next round. It lasts so long that it was still up when I started the next round.
Master's bidding!
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Her burst lasts ages.
Clouds high.
Ah,
Wind strider.
good stuff. Tomorrow's a live stream. You've been disconnected for Genshin the last couple days. Yeah, have you been trying out Tower Fantasy, Kamikaze? I'm pretty sure you have. What are your thoughts? I'm interested in what you think about the game and stuff like that. If you've been playing. Yeah, tomorrow morning is the live stream and all that good stuff. So
Of the deep.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Rest and breathe.
Manifest!
From whence you came, one with my blade.
Take your true form! Do your master's bidding!
Ha! Billowing surge.
I'm enjoying the game. Love the weapon swap combos. The game needs optimization. Yeah, sounds very similar to my thoughts. I'm on the Observer server. I'm not sure what server you're on, but I made a guild. So if you want to join my guild, you're more than welcome.
Swift and merciful.
My will embodied! By ordinance divine!
One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my night into the wind. Submit for judgment.
Torrent, bring refuge.
Whoa. I got 26 seconds left.
Wind strider. As one with
That's it,
wind
big
and
boy.
cloud.
You going down tonight.
Spirit flame. Attack.
Cryo Incarnate! Obey!
Same Observer? Okay, Pog. Woo! Walruses and Solaris. Yeah, if you guys want to friend request me, it's just Flowcat, capital F, capital C on Tower Fantasy. Alright, last one. This should be the easiest one. This is like what my team is,
From whence you came.
bro.
Transfiguration! Do your master's bidding!
Billowing surge.
You're on Nirvana. Never have a chance to join Solaris. I didn't join Solaris. I joined Observer. It was like the only server that I could actually get in, or at least the first one that let me in.
Attack. Forth my blade.
Unleash!
Oh shoot.
Torrent, bring refuge.
Oh, we're fighting Geo.
Clouds high. The bird.
Cryo Incarnate!
Dante is disappointed that it's not on
One with my
PSN.
blade.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I just missed huge burst damage. Oh, I only got to kill one. Oh, okay. All right. One more time.
Hold the line.
One with nature.
Spirit Blade. Attack. Swift and
Oh my gosh, that spin attack is just so, like, I'm glad they nerfed the damage on it,
By ordinance divine.
but it's
My will and
still so annoying.
Allow me.
obey.
Wind Strider.
submit for judgment. One with my blade.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Transfigurate.
Rest and rebuild.
Unleash.
From whence you came.
Torrent, bring refuge.
Swift and merciful.
Manifest. Cryo incarnate.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Spirit Blade. Attack.
Hold the line.
Unleash.
Ha! Covenant of the Deep.
People have conflict between Genshin and Tower Fantasy. I'm enjoying both great games. Yeah, I would say Genshin, in my opinion, is a great
Take your
game.
true form.
I would say Tower Fantasy to me is a good game. Like, it's not, it's gonna need some work before I'm willing to call it a great game. You know what I mean? Like, right now in the current state, it's too buggy, the optimization, and there's a lot of things I think holding the game back, but it does have potential. If the developers are willing to put in some serious work, take in feedback from the community, and take the game seriously, it sounds like they have to. Sounds like if they don't do well, they'll, like, it sounds like this global launch is the only thing stopping this company from just like going out of business. Because I guess, like Mateem said, the Chinese servers or Chinese version is not doing too well. So I won't play 10-cent games. I don't know what that means. $69.
It does well on global, or if it does well on global, I could see eventually coming to consoles, but I don't know. They haven't even optimized for PC and mobile. Yeah.
Lore-wise, Genshin is just superior. Tower Fantasy is still new and has tons of potential. Yeah, well, see, I don't know anything about the developers. That's why I don't want to talk about, like, because really, like, the base of a great game is there for Tower Fantasy. Like, it's potentially a great game. It's just, it's all up to the developers. Like, whether the developers take it seriously, put lots of good love into it, you know, like, that's what matters from here. Like, they've already got a good game. If you guys are hanging out, enjoying the chat, you want to join the Discord, I got the link pinned in the description. I would love it if you gave me a like. That would help out. Oh, I forgot my juggling. I'll juggle for you at 25 likes. I forgot to put that up. My bad. ToF is published by Tencent. Tencent is the company that developed Tower Fantasy, and they've been involved in many sketchy controversies. Okay. Yeah, I had someone posted in my Discord. They posted a bunch of conspiracies about the developers. Like, they have done some crappy business practices from what I've read, but I did see some like Reddit posts that were like basically conspiracies. They're saying there's this and there's this and there's this and there's this. So what does that mean, huh? And I don't know. I think that basically, like, yeah. I thought it was Level Infinite. Is Tencent a parent company? That's what I'm curious. I thought it was Hada Studios. I thought those were the developers, were Hada Studios. Am I wrong? Let me just Google who develops Tower of Fantasy. Perfect World, Hada Studios, Level Infinite. Is Tencent the publisher? No, they're not. Developer, Perfect World. Publishers, Perfect World, Level Infinite. Yeah, is that a parent company? That's the only thing I guess it could be. The thing is, from a consumer perspective, we need more games pushing Genshin. We get benefits from the competition. I'm not loyal to any company. They don't pay my bills. No, exactly. Tencent is the money provider for easier terms. I mean, okay, but if the developers are good developers, then it has the potential to be a good game. You know, a lot of developers need funding. It's not like indie companies can build an MMORPG from the ground up. That's just not possible. So if you guys want to see indie small developers like make big games like Genshin, they have to get funding from somewhere. They can't just pull $200 million, $100 million, $50 million out of their pockets. You know what I mean? A lot of these developers just do not have that kind of money, and so they have to rely on big publishers and stuff like that. Taking direct assets from other games is not decent for me. I have played the game a considerable amount, and I have not seen any assets in the game that are stolen from any other game. I heard that there was some kerfluffle with that stuff, but like as for right now, if you guys can point out to me the exact assets that were stolen and if they're still in the game, but as far as I know, or as far as I'm concerned, it's not. I haven't seen anything like that in the game. Anything else like that. The asset was removed during Chinese beta alpha. Okay. And one thing that you have to keep in mind is that like Tower of Fantasy is made in I'm pretty sure Tower of Fantasy is made in almost the same engine as Genshin, right? Like it could have been just an accident. I don't know the full story. So I'm just talking out of my butt right now. And I'm not trying to defend the company either. I'm just saying that like I think a lot of people are coming to conclusions, and I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of evidence for anything concrete. I haven't seen a lot of evidence that would give me enough concern to not want to play the game. To develop a game, you need slap you in the face level of money. Yeah, small studios and individuals using starting kit as a medium to get funds for projects like indie video games. Yeah, I've heard like some of the things. Here's the crappy things that I've heard about the company. I guess they possibly did review botting, where they like paid bots to mass review their game, like positive reviews, like copy pasta. That's not good. Like that's not nice. Like they shouldn't do that. A couple other things, the asset thing, potentially imposing on marketing space from Genshin, like trying to use or invade on tags related to Genshin. I've heard about that. But like none of these, they're bad, but none of these things are inherently like makes me want to quit the game. Yeah, that's pretty normal practice from parent company Tencent. But I also feel Genshin and Tower of Fantasy are different enough that they will have different player bases with some who play both. I agree. I think that look, I've been doing some research. I watched some videos on Tower of Fantasy, and then I went down into the comment section because I read a lot of comment sections trying to figure out like what people are thinking, how's everyone feeling about things. Like I do a lot of paying attention to people, like how they're reacting. And there are two kinds of reactions right now to Tower of Fantasy. There's Tower of Fantasy. Sorry, my brain just pooped out. I read a comment. What do you mean by, of course you play anything? I hope that's not like a sarcastic stab. I just like, I sensed some hostility in Discord when people were talking about Tower of Fantasy because like, it's like, I don't know. I started to feel like the tone was like, they want no one to play Tower of Fantasy. Like there's two kinds of people right now. There's people that want the game dead. They don't want the game to succeed. They hate the developers. They think that it's trashy, it's cheap, it's a ripoff. And then there's other people who are sick of Genshin and who are quitting Genshin to play Tower of Fantasy because it has elements that Genshin doesn't have. There are parts of Tower of Fantasy that Genshin doesn't have. Like some of the end game content, some of the more like raid-based content, PvP content, that stuff is just not available in Genshin. And I can understand why some people may prefer one game over the other. Now, I'm not here to like have any predisposed opinions about a company that I know nothing about. I've heard people say, I mean, you can play anything, I just won't play it. Okay, I mean, I'm not like, for one thing is like, I'm not trying to advertise the game. One reason I'm playing the game is because you guys can watch me play the game, and if you don't want to play Tower Fantasy, that's fine. Well, I'm not sure I'm gonna stream it, but like, you know what I mean? It's chill. I can give you guys an opinion on the game. You don't have to play it. It's just another new game. People acting like Genshin is shutting down just because Tower Fantasy come out. Yeah, there's two kinds of people. There's people that are like, Genshin's gonna die. This is a Genshin killer. And like, look, competition is good. We want competition, but it's not that deep. Like, some people are just making it feel really deep. Like these huge decisions, like, oh, are you playing Tower of Fantasy? No, I'm a Genshin fan base player. I would never touch that trash. You know, it's like, it's just getting so deep. Like, it's not that deep, guys. They are video games. We're here to have fun. If you want to play the game, play the game. If you don't want to play the game, don't play the game. Either way, I wouldn't recommend spending money on either game, and I wouldn't recommend hating people or getting too opinionated about it. I feel like Tower Fantasy is almost getting like the Kokomi treatment when she was released. I don't know if it's that bad. I feel like there are a lot of people that actually like the game. I've been reading comments online, reading the YouTube comments. There are a surprising amount of people who are standing up for the game, that are saying, hey, like, there's a good amount of people who are saying, yes, these bad things, like, people are not denying the bad things. People are not denying that the game is buggy and it needs optimization, yada, 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 right? People are arguing that there are things in Tower of Fantasy that make it worthwhile, that make it worth the game continuing to get development and continuing to improve. And I see that as valid. I see there is potential in Tower of Fantasy. And for that reason, people are willing to give up on Genshin because the kind of content they want to see is already in Tower of Fantasy. It's just not as developed as they want it to be, basically. So, like, yeah. And there's a couple things that Tower of Fantasy has that I would like to see in Genshin. Like I mentioned before, they have freaking respawning chests in Tower of Fantasy. You can farm gacha currency a little more easily, I would say. Like, all of our primo gems come from either daily commissions or events. So we get like an allowance of primo gems, right? And you can't really do much of anything to get more or less primo gems. So like, if you play all the events, if you do all your daily commissions, you're gonna have the same amount of primo gems as someone else who's done the same thing, right? Like, there's no real difference there. But like with Tower of Fantasy, you can choose, like, I feel like farming summons right now, and go farm summons. And, you know, like I mentioned before, we talked about this earlier, the difference is you pay a price. Like, the standard banner that you can farm like infinite wishes for, you can get the 5 stars on it, but it's very low rarity and there's no pity. So like, you know, there's a give and a take. Like, if you farm in Genshin and you farm 160 primo gems, you also farmed 1 pity. And that's important because every pity is added value towards a guarantee. When you farm 400 purple nuclei, which is like 400 summons, you know, there's no pity. You have farmed literally just summons. So you could spend all those summons, get very unlucky, get nothing, and it basically be a waste of time. That is the difference, is that when you're farming primo gems in Genshin, you are farming a number that will lead you to a cap that will, like, do you guys see what I'm saying? Do you see the difference between the two systems there? Like, I'm trying to make it as clear as I can, but it's basically, that's as clear as I can make it. Genshin killer, LOL. I could care less about both games dying. True. I mean, I would be very sad if Genshin died because I like the game. But Tower of Fantasy, if it died, I'd be like, aw, like, I don't know. Here's my thing. Look, Wuthering Waves is gonna come out in I don't know how long, and then we're gonna have 3 open world anime gotcha RPGs. I don't this it's too long. That cannot be the name of an entire genre. But the point is that like this is turning into a genre. This is becoming a genre. I think once we have 3 games, you have Tower Fantasy, you have Genshin, and you have Wuthering Waves, this will be its own game genre of games. And it has the potential, like playing Tower of Fantasy has made me realize that there is a lot that can be done with this format. I've played Breath of the Wild, I've played Genshin, and I've played Tower of Fantasy, and I am not sick of this formula, this game formula. I'm not sick of it. It's really, really good. Like having the open world, having the interactables to go explore and farm and cooking and this and that and that. You know, it's like this kind of formula that has been becoming more popular. I like it. I would enjoy more companies to approach it. What happened to NFT Eno Kuni not dead yet? I don't know. I didn't hear much. Like even once Ni no Kuni came out, I didn't hear anything about it. Like a couple people tried it. They said it was boring. It was really cheap. Just not fun. Wuthering Waves gonna be for PlayStation Network? Please tell me I ain't getting left out 2 times in a row. I don't know about that. Wuthering Waves is developed by Kuro Games, and Kuro Games made Punishing Gray Ravens, and Punishing Gray Ravens doesn't even have a PC client. Doesn't even have a PC client. I would not expect Wuthering Waves to be on console. Because Kuro Games is like just such a baby. I mean, okay, Punishing Gray Ravens has made them a decent amount of money. But like they don't have the connections to do that, I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. Anime styled, open world, gacha genres. Only issue is storage space. Yeah. Yeah. They need to make like phones that just have like a hard drive just like glued to the back. You just have a terabyte or something. It's just like life. The RNG elements make it feel fresh when it does it right. Yeah. Yeah. The main difference between Genshin and Tower Fantasy is the MMO aspect. Did Wuthering Waves stated whether it's MMO or an RPG with co-op elements? As far as I know, Wuthering Waves is like Genshin, where it is a single player game. I am pretty sure that Wuthering Waves is not like an MMORPG. Will Wuthering Waves be on PC as well? It should be. Wuthering Waves should be on PC. So, okay, Punishing Gray Ravens is not on PC, but you can play it on PC with an emulator. I think that Wuthering Waves, because it's their second project, it's going to be way polished. I think they're going to come out with an official PC client from the get-go with Wuthering Waves. I don't think they're going to play around with it. Kuro Games is a great developer. Like maybe we have doubts about the developers for Tower Fantasy, but I have no doubts. Like look, once Wuthering Waves comes out, if I don't have enough time, I'm going to quit Tower Fantasy to play Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves, while being hard to say, looks like it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And I'm excited. And it also, like, it has a parkour system. Like, you don't have to climb walls really slowly. You can, like, run up walls and wall run and stuff. It looks so exciting. Like, they have, like, cities mapped out. I don't know. It looks cool. And it should be extremely free-to-play friendly, all that good stuff, because Kuro Games has a good reputation of being a very friendly company. Like, with Punishing Gray Ravens, you can farm all the S-ranked units, like, easy. You just have to log in, do your stuff. Yeah. In my Discord, I have a channel for Wuthering Waves already, and I pinned some videos. They had a technical test, not a beta, but a technical test where like content creators were streaming and showing the game off. So it was a very early test, but it looks really good, even though it was super early. Wait, it's the same company as PGR? Yeah, Kuro Games. They make Punishing Gray Ravens. They're gonna make Wuthering Waves. So anyway, in my Discord, you can watch some videos. I pinned some if you want to see more about Wuthering Waves. Now we talk about things we missed from Genshin when playing Tower of Fantasy. Me first. The awesome Genshin music isn't even... Wait. Now we talk about things we missed from Genshin when playing... Oh. Yeah, no, the music in Tower of Fantasy is okay, but like Genshin's music is just legendary. Like I was talking about that earlier, but like it is so smart of Hoyoverse to invest so much money and development into two things. Actually, let's expand the conversation because you're right, dialogue in Tower of Fantasy feels empty. Hoyoverse did two really smart things with Genshin: voice acting and music. They spent big money on voice actors and big money on music. And they made sure they had a lot of good, talented people. It's hard. I mean, like, it's like AAA. You know, like you have music in Genshin that is better than AAA titles. You know what I mean? Pretty crazy. And the voice acting is amazing. Yeah, I need to go because I have to eat dinner. I'm like starving right now. And also, how long do I have on Abyss? I need to check. 3 days. Oh boy. Tower of Fantasy is so futuristic. The music, in my opinion, will not have much banger. Yeah. So like Tower of Fantasy, it's like forgettable. Like the music fits. Like it's not bad. It's not like the music is bad or unenjoyable. When I'm playing Tower of Fantasy and I have the music on, I enjoy it. It sounds good. You know, it fits the mood. It fits the setting. It's not like jarring or anything. But it's very forgettable. As I can't remember what the music sounds like when I stop playing. I can't remember any specific songs. Yeah. World of Teyvat feels like a true living ambient. Tower of Fantasy, a World of Ada feels plain. Yeah. The world building in Teyvat, like, there's a lot more intentionality to like the cities, to everything. Most futuristic games limit themselves when it comes to music. They should just do dope stuff. Okay. Okay. All right. Logging out of Genshin. I gotta go eat. I'm starving and my brain is tired. And then I gotta upload this video. And then pretty much rest for the night. And then we have the live stream in the morning. If anyone wants to watch 3.0 live stream with me in the morning, I'll be doing that. Very much looking forward to it. Ooh. I yawned in the middle of talking. But yeah. Thanks everyone for being here. You feel hungry still after eating a corn dog? I haven't had a corn dog in forever. That sounds like really great. See you in 12 hours. Is it 12 hours from now? Kwong, actually, if you know what time it is, what time the live stream is at, is it 12 hours and 12 minutes from now? Because that would help me a lot. It would be at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for me, which would be actually pretty good timing because I'll definitely be up and ready for that. I won't have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn. 11 hours for you? 11 hours and 12 minutes. Oh. So it's at 8 in the morning for me. So it's... That's okay. That's okay. Yo, thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the morning. And until the next time, which will be in the morning. Stay healthy, stay hydrated. Peace out.